Happy Wednesday, everybody. These videos were submitted by you, so thank you so much. Bob Green and Enigma 4U Rides. Hopefully I said that right. If you would like to submit your own videos, make sure you click the link in the description, but let's jump into this. So the first one's gonna be from Bob Green. Thank you for submitting this video. This is gonna be an interstate type thing where we're gonna have a lot of merging and changing lanes. So this is a changing lane one. We're gonna go ahead and watch this portion. So we're gonna see this vehicle right here on the right. It's gonna wanna change lanes, but it's gonna have to jump past the middle lane to get in front of the motorcyclist, which is Bob right here. And that's typical. That's what happens sometimes when vehicles want to merge over. So the best way we can deal with that is understand what's happening prior to the actual close call. Here it is. We don't have a good line of sight of that vehicle, so does the vehicle doesn't have a good line of sight of us. Now the vehicle is not liking his lane. Okay, we got a fast lane all the way to the left. We have the slower lane to the right. We got two vehicles in front of this vehicle that's going to want to merge, and then we have that semi in the middle. Okay, now a lot of cars do not want to be behind semis. It's actually very dangerous to be behind semis. They can't see you very well unless you're super far back. And that is something I learned myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this vehicle wanting to switch lanes. Now he's not going to want to be in that lane anymore because he wants to get in front of everybody. It's more of the impatience of drivers nowadays. And he can't do that in his right lane, but he sees that there's no one in the far left lane up ahead. He never checked back. So we're kind of in the blind spot here with this driver. So what we have to do is kind of keep an eye on that so that we are constantly scanning for hazards. We're like that Terminator. We're constantly moving around, okay? So that's what I want you guys really to do, is to focus on that. And I think my arm is getting cut off. Green screen. Anyways, we're going to be moved forward, and at this point you see how fast he transitioned. Usually when people want to just switch lanes, just one lane over, it's kind of a slow transition, and if it is a transition, what they're doing is they're actually moving to that spot and then wanting to go straight. This one, he's actually moving to this spot, but it looks like he wants to constantly keep moving. There's no slowdown of the turning. There's no slowdown of any of that stuff. He's just constantly moving. So watch him go. He's no slowing down, no slowing down. At this point, roughly about right here, there's no reason for him to be that far in his line. Okay, so that should be your indication. Hey, hazard, 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 hazard. Then you need to either roll off the throttle or use the shoulder. So you have an escape path to the left right there onto the shoulder. Those are really big areas for you to move. There's a lot of debris in those areas, so it's going to be only for emergencies. The best thing you can do in this situation is exactly what Bob did in this situation, which was to slow down. So roll off the throttle just a little bit to give that person enough room. More than likely, this person, whenever one of them, the drivers or anybody, when you pass or you change lanes, you have to accelerate, because when you turn, you start to slow down. So he's going to be accelerating in this portion right here to maintain his distance and his speed. So if he's turning, he's going to accelerate. Hopefully he's going to accelerate even more, but let's not trust that. If he keeps going, you're still in his blind spot, and maybe your front tire is going to hit that rear bumper. So let's go ahead and roll off the throttle. Let him get ahead of you. Let's slow it down so we can increase our space cushion that he just took away from us. Remember, a lot of times vehicles, they take away our space cushion. They take away that bubble that we like and that we need. So if they're going to take it from us, let's not get angry at it. Let's go ahead and just increase ours. We have a plethora, a huge supply of space in the world. So let them go, increase our space, not a big deal, but he did a good job here. He slowed down. You see how he slowed down, and then the Infiniti, this car right here, was able to accelerate through. I think last second the Infiniti saw it. That's why he's not committing all the way to the left side. He saw the motorcyclist last second. Remember, they're not trying to kill us here. So he's going to go ahead and accelerate through. He got pretty close to that driver. It was a very bad mistake for this driver to change lanes like that. It wasn't very smart. But, you know, there's some really dumb drivers out there. And if you look at it, you know, this semi-driver decided to switch over. But let's go to the next one. Thank you so much, Bob Green, for sending this in. If you're looking for a way to put your phone on the motorcycle, why don't you check out Rockform? Great product. I bought it myself, and I use it every single day. This one's from Enigma 4U Rides. And I'm removing all audio from all these videos because some of it is a little bit high. There's no real mic. It's just really noisy. So we're going to jump into this one. So we're at downtown. I'm going to go ahead and just do my little scene survey here. We're downtown. We have a lot of traffic. I don't know what time of day it is, but that can also play into effect what's happening and like how many people and how patient or impatient they really are. If it's a Sunday morning, people are pretty much just strolling around, doing some quick joy rides, doing some errands. But if it's like, you know, first thing in the morning during the weekday, people are trying to get somewhere. So think about that when you're riding around. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. It's a green light for him. The intersection isn't going to be the dangerous position in this one. We are going to have a car turn out in front of us, and it's going to be this white car, boom, right here, turns out in front of us, and now he's going to go ahead and slow down. and he did a head check just in case he had to do his escape path, letting the vehicle go, and then that's the end of that. Once again, downtown, there's going to be a lot of traffic. A lot of people are going to be courteous, and a lot of people are going to be kind of mean. The courteous driver is going to let this white vehicle go through, and sometimes that's dangerous for other vehicles and the person actually going through. But here's what we need to start figuring out. Every intersection, no matter what, I'm not even going to look to the left where the hazard is, but I'm looking to the right. That's an intersection. I see that there's a 7-Eleven over there. That's also an intersection. There's going to be an intersection behind this building. Every single intersection in the world is a hazard. Every single car in the world is a hazard. Pothole is a hazard. A curve is a hazard. Anything that is not a straight line and is no obstructions, no nothing, is a hazard. Now, there's big hazards, little hazards, all these different things. And right now, when I see an empty intersection, it's a tiny hazard. But that's a clue. Hey, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. So I'm going to look left now. I'm going to look right. I'm going to look left. I'm going to look right. I see nothing on the right. I'm going to look left now because I don't see anything up ahead. I see there's only an intersection, a couple blocks ahead. Now I'm going to look left. So when we look left, we're going to see this vehicle. So there's this big gap. People are going to shoot gaps. They're going to do whatever they can. See how there's an intersection there? That is going to be a big problem. You can't really anticipate absolutely everything. This is where your skills come into play. Now I talk about having high skills, bad seeing. I talk about having good seeing, search, evaluate, execute, and then good skills, all these different things. Let's couple good skills with good hazard perception. So just in case our hazard perception fails us because we can't see anything based on a line of sight, because if we scroll back just a little bit, line of sight is blocked by all these vans, all these vehicles. So line of sight, our hazard perception, the vision that we have is limited in this situation. So this is where our skills need to come into play. So if something comes out crazy, we need to have our skills involved. So in this situation, what he is doing, he did a head check to see if he has an escape path. That, I believe, should have been established a little bit earlier. So whenever you're checking around, doing your visual checks, check your mirrors at the same time. So I'm looking right, look at the intersection, look at my mirrors. Looking straight, left, mirrors. I'm just constantly doing that. That way you know that you have nothing in this little bubble. The bubble isn't just in front of you, it's around you. So that way if you have to do an evasive maneuver to the right or to the left, you know for a fact there's nobody there. So that is really big. So I think that could have been a little bit better, but he did a great job with his skills, and that's what's very important too. So practice your skills. In this situation, he did a quick head check right there. He rolled off the throttle to give himself that space cushion, and if he had to, he was going to swerve to the right. From here, he probably did another evaluation after he did the search, evaluation, and possible execution of evasive maneuvers. He's doing another search, another evaluation. He's looking ahead now. He's looking at the car. That was a hazard. He's evaluating, is this a hazard anymore? And he's realizing it's not, so he's going to stay in this lane, and he's going to roll out the throttle, increase his space cushion. So good job, Enigma. There you go. Very good, and you pretty much saved yourself today.